has been issued with that cell because it could be in the process of putting down a tornado. So let's go ahead and take a look at Live Eye Max 2 full screen. The reason we're on air, of course, is because of the tornado warning, which is in the red polygon. Now, obviously, there's a lot of yellow polygons here. These are all, every single one of them, severe thunderstorm warnings. There are many of them, so there's going to be multiple threats tonight. We're talking about heavy rain, lightning, but the main threats are going to be coming from large hail and the possibility that some of these supercells could develop into tornadoes. So, of course, this is the tornado warning. It's the red polygon here. We'll query this and show you that the warning goes until about 8:15. And I'm just going to read out this warning, which was issued by the National Weather Service just a couple of minutes ago at about 7:18. Tornado warning for north central Issaquena County and central Sharkey County until 8:15. A severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located over Rolling Fork and moving east at about 20 miles per hour. This storm is capable of producing a tornado and golf ball sized hail. It is a radar indicated rotation. Now, it is moving east at only about 20 miles per hour. So the polygon is not a large polygon, but it does go for about the next 50 minutes or so because this is a relatively slow moving storm. So we're going to plug in that forward motion in the Live Eye Max 12 so we can track this storm out for you. We'll show you where it's rotating and where the storm is headed here over the next several minutes. By the way, I've got meteorologist Austin Powell here in studio with me. We'll be tag teaming this severe weather coverage over the next 50 minutes. All right, we got that plugged into Live Eye Max 12. What we need now to do is to find out exactly where the rotation is. Now, it's a cell that's sitting out here by itself. It's a supercell, and sometimes what we look for is a little kind of a hook back here on the back side of this to determine where it might be rotating. So that would be pretty close to the Rolling Fork area, and the white shaded area, that is where we could be seeing that large hail up to golf ball in size being produced by the storm along Highway 16 and Highway 61, mostly now north of Rolling Fork. So let's check out the velocity with this. We can see where it is rotating. All right, so there it is right there. Along Highway 61, moving into the Rolling Fork area. We'll query some of the wind speeds here. And the brighter the pixel, the stronger the wind. Don't see a very impressive wind speeds with this yet, but they are moving definitely in opposite directions. We got a positive 23 there. Those are outbound winds away from the radar site. And the negative 8, those are inbound winds toward the radar site. So this is about the area that we've got rotation. And if you remember, we'll put back on the reflectivity here. And remember where we kind of look for that hook right back in there. That's exactly the area that we're looking at for rotation. So if we know where the rotating part of the thunderstorm is, it's capable of producing a tornado. It should right now be over Rolling Fork as the radar updates and moving across Highway 16 and Highway 61. If we know where it is, we want to track it out to the east. Yeah.
The National Weather Service says the tornado is developing there, so they're going with a confirmed tornado warning for that area. Where
all right, thank you for the update. All right, tornado developing west of Rolling Fork. Yeah, so that is, you see Rolling Fork right there and exactly where we have circled it, right there just to the west of Highway 61. So the Weather Service saying that this is definitely a developing tornado, and they're going to change the characterization of this to a confirmed tornado because of that. So let's go ahead again and track it out to the east at about 20 miles per hour. So this is where the tornado is, and we're going to move it off to the east at 20. I'm going to do that again. Let's take that off and let's do a reset there from near Rolling Fork right now, and we'll track it off to the east over about the next hour or so at 20 miles per hour. And these are the communities that are going to be in the path of the storm. We're looking at Bayland at about 5 minutes after 8 o'clock. It is now 7:26. So you do have some lead time if you live in that community, but you shouldn't hesitate very long with this storm. I know it's moving a little bit more slowly than we're used to with these past severe weather events. They've been moving pretty quickly. Still, though, you need to hopefully have a pre-planned spot to go in case a situation like this develops, and just go ahead and get there and stay there until we can tell you that the storm has passed you. If you're in Potosi, should be there in about 11 minutes after 8 o'clock, and Louise at about 8:18. That is actually past the time of the current warning at 8:15, but just keep watching us, and we'll keep tracking the storm as it continues to move to the east towards you. So let's go ahead and clear this up just a little bit. And I'm going to turn the velocity back on here so we can take a look at where the storm is rotating. And I don't think the radar is really updated very much. Let's go ahead and take a look at this. It's a couple different velocity products. We're trying to get a couple different views here, but it's still right about there. Along and just to the west of Highway 61, near and just to the north of Rolling Fork, near Riverside Junction. I would say between Rolling Fork and Anguilla. I know a lot of folks in Rolling Fork, a couple of years ago, town basically destroyed by a tornado. So folks in that area, unfortunately, know exactly how dangerous a storm like this can be. Unfortunately, it looks like there's another storm, another supercell, that's in the process of putting down a tornado in your vicinity. And I think this one is going to possibly move just to the north of where you are, but it is way too close for comfort. You still need to get into your safe spot if you're in and around Rolling Fork. And as we zoom in, you can see the town of Rolling Fork right there. And you see it is in that circle that I just drew right there, indicating where the rotating part of this storm is, the one that is, we think, in the process of putting down a tornado. Here's a different velocity product here. We're going to take a look at the reflectivity here. And Mount Helena, a lot of folks in that area very familiar with that place. It is a house that is built on an Indian mound there, so it's elevated. Again, an example of a place that you do not want to be in. A structure that is elevated, you need to get to the lowest place possible. So you need to get to a nearby sturdy structure. A vehicle, a mobile home is not a safe place to be. You need to get into that sturdy structure in a small interior room, putting as many walls between you and the outside as possible and staying away from windows in this situation. Now, if you're in Rolling Fork or Riverside Junction or near Mount Helena or south of Anguilla, you need to do that right now, immediately. But you'll only have to do it for the next several minutes because the storm, as it moves east at about 20 miles per hour, should be pulling away from you. But if you are along Highway 14 as it runs out of Anguilla, or if you are along Widow Bayou Road, Perkins Road, Dowling Bayou Road, Sandy Bayou Road, any of those areas, these are the places that it's going to be moving towards over the next several minutes. And you also need to get to your safe spot immediately, and you'll need to stay there for an extended amount of time, at least the next, I would say, 15 minutes, if not more, as the storm passes through your areas. We zoom out here. I want to show you that we are actually not too far away from the county line here, moving into Humphreys County. So there's the storm. Severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado. And again, the characterization of this, I think, is going to be changed to confirmed very soon. I haven't seen an update from the weather. So let's go ahead and let's see, query this. This might be an update here. I'm going to cut Sharkey County, or they cut
Issaquena out of it.
Okay, and it doesn't look like Humphreys is yet included in the tornado warning. So right now, this is just a Sharkey County tornado warning. And the update is that Austin was telling us is that Issaquena County, you were under this warning initially, you are no longer. It is now to the east of where you are, and it's moving away from you. But if you are between Rolling Fork and Anguilla and along Highway 14 in Sharkey County, we've got a dangerous storm here. At a minimum, it's going to produce very large hail, up to golf ball in size, lightning strikes with this storm, heavy rain, gusty winds, and there's a very good possibility that it's in the process of putting down a tornado as well, and it's going to be moving to the east at about 20 miles per hour along Highway 14. Now, I'm going to read off the latest warning. Let's go ahead and query this, the latest update to the warning, I should say. We'll query the warning again. You see the warning is still in effect until about 8:15, and the update that came out about 6 minutes ago at 7:26 was that now a confirmed tornado was located over Rolling Fork, moving to the east at about 20 miles per hour. It is still capable of not only producing a tornado, but also golf ball sized hail. All right, the reason this is confirmed, it says weather spotters have confirmed this tornado. And it should be near Anguilla at about 7:30. Of course, that was 2 minutes ago. So it's near Anguilla as we speak. There you see, I know the motion of this is listed to the east at about 20 miles per hour, but to me it looks like it's moving a little bit north of east. You know, you see that it's on the north side of that polygon right now. So they may have to adjust the polygon just a little bit. And I would think if it's a confirmed tornado, very soon they could be issuing another warning downstream that would include parts of Humphreys County. Now, remember, the Rolling Fork tornado from a couple of years ago moved through Rolling Fork, but it also hit the town of Louise. So they could be in sight of this tornado that's happening right now as well. You see it near Anguilla moving east at about 20 and maybe a little bit north of east. So I really do think it's going to be moving right along Highway 14, and eventually this is going to make it into central and southern Humphreys County. So midnight to Louise, that area south of Silver City in Humphreys County. Now, was it, I believe it was Rolling Fork and Silver City, excuse me, that was hit by the tornado a couple of years ago, and not Louise. But definitely midnight and Louise are the areas that are going to be under the gun here over the next several minutes as the storm continues to plod in your direction. I say that because it is not moving quickly. It is moving east and maybe just a little bit north of east at about 20 miles per hour. So let's take a look at the debris indicator to see if we can see anything that is popping out on the debris indicator. I don't see anything that's really obvious. Maybe there's something a little bit around Anguilla, but I wouldn't say that's a debris signature. Austin, let me know what you think. Do you think you see anything on the debris signature? Or
not from that. I mean, it's really tough because we're getting that's about as far away from this radar side as you can get.
Right.
So we're getting some, even with the velocity, but there definitely was a lowering from that funnel cloud. We've got spotter reports, a camera saw that, and we also had a report from the Sheriff's Department in Sharkey County Sheriff's Department report that. Now, Ken was talking about the couplet. This is about 10 minutes ago. You can see we've got these bright greens and bright reds. The couplet looked weak at first, but it did tighten for just a moment. Here on this velocity product, you can see we've got about 47 miles per hour going towards the radar and not really anything significant going away, but nonetheless, we did have that couplet that's showing that we did have some rotation in the upper levels of the atmosphere. Let me put on the current base velocity, and as you can see, it looks like it is broadening out, which is good news. Still under that tornado warning, though, in Sharkey County. We haven't had an update on that yet, but here's where the rotation was, just west of Riverside Junction, and it does look like Ken was right. It moved off towards the north and east, putting a track on that. Just follow that. You see here's likely where that area of rotation was at 7:31, and then as we move it off towards the north and east, it's still right north of Riverside Junction. Let me look at the velocity or the reflectivity. Okay, it's right in this area, and through here is more than likely where this area of rotation would be. I'm going to put the velocity on and just give you storm track really quick here. It's still moving 20 miles an hour. It looks like just north of Riverside Junction is where this storm would be. Now, note, the radar product sometimes can run a minute or two behind. So if you're in Mount, how'd you say that, Ken? Mount Helena, if you're in Mount Helena, you need to be in your tornado safe place now, as well as in Anguilla. Unfortunately, it seems like over the past few weeks, the same area has been hit by multiple tornadoes. You know the drill. If you're under this warning, go to the lowest level of your home. Put as many walls in between you and the outside as possible to protect yourself from this potentially tornadic storm that is moving through portions of Sharkey County. I'm going to go ahead and put that storm track on, just checking to see if we've got any updates. Nothing yet. So we're just going to continue tracking it off towards the north and east at 20 miles an hour. Just put it a little ahead of this track here. Anguilla, you're right in the path of this storm. And Mount Helena at 7:38 and Anguilla at 7:46. So you need to be in your safe place now. But as of now, Ken, this tornado warning doesn't look to have been extended into Humphreys County. It goes to that county line, moving off towards Humphreys County, but right now Sharkey County, northern portions of Sharkey County, you are under this warning. You need to be in your safe place now. This is a confirmed tornado. It was at one point. It could still be on the ground right now, but we don't have any indication from the Weather Service right now, any updates, but for now I'm going to send it back over to Ken to see if he has any new information.
All right, no, that is the latest information that we've got so far, so we'll just continue to track this storm. I do want to zoom out and show you that there are other storms, obviously, that we are watching here. There's a line just to the north of our area that's in the Delta. We'll watch that line dropping south. The tornado threat is not a huge tornado threat. It's not like last weekend. We don't think we're going to see an outbreak, but obviously there's a lot of severe weather here, and these storms are going to be capable of producing some gusty winds and also very large hail, which is happening right now, we think, in the metro. So let's go ahead and take a look at Live Eye Max 2 full screen. I'm going to spend a little time on that storm in Rankin and Simpson County. I want to show you that this is a severe thunderstorm warning here until 8:15. And notice it's got a considerable threat tag on it, and that's because of the very large hail. 2-inch in diameter hail, that would be about hen egg sized hail coming from the storm. I'm going to take a look at the hail tracks with this real quick before we get back to the tornado warning a little bit farther to the north. All right, there's the hail size, and you can see pretty much where it's located in southeastern Rankin County, moving towards Highway 18 between the communities of Johns and Puckett near Cato, and that's going to be moving over towards parts of Smith County as well, near Daniel and Gunn. So just know that there's a severe thunderstorm, but it is capable of producing considerable damage because of the very large hail that is coming out of this storm. Let's take a look at the radar once again, and we'll take a look at the lightning strikes. There should be a ton of those, and we'll put this into motion for you so you can see how it's just kind of moving off to the east there, already getting some really bad weather along Highway 18 from Johns to Puckett, and this, again, capable of producing large hail up to 2-inch in diameter hail. So there's a severe thunderstorm there, but the reason we're on the air is because of this severe storm, which we think is producing a tornado. Storm spotters several minutes ago spotted a tornado, and that's why it was elevated to a confirmed tornado warning. We'll put the warning back on here. There you see the warning. It is just for still Sharkey County, and it is until 8:15. And the reason it's for so long, even though it's a pretty small polygon here, is because it is moving relatively slowly. We got on the air here, I don't know, about almost 20 minutes ago. It was near Rolling Fork. Now it's just, I think, to the east of Anguilla. So it hasn't moved a whole lot over the past 20 minutes, and that's why we think it is slowly going to continue to make its way through Sharkey County along Highway 14 from Anguilla and points east. So if you're in this area, and as we zoom in, there you see some of the roads that are going to be popping up here. Obviously, there's Highway 14, but we're looking at Sandy Bayou Road, Dowling Bayou Road, County Bourne Road, Keith Road, South Bayou Road, Widow Bayou Road, River Road, Sunflower River Road, all of those areas to the east of Anguilla. Please get into your safe spot now. Do it immediately and stay there until the threat is over, which is not the case yet. I'm going to take a look at the velocity. It's not that easy to pick up. I'm looking at a couple of different velocity products, and we're not seeing the reds and the greens There's a lot of red, which indicates winds moving in one direction, but I don't see a whole lot of green indicating winds moving the other direction. So we do see that on this. Go ahead, Austin.
Update from the Weather Service. They are hearing of large limb damage near Rolling Fork, but also the emergency manager in Sharkey County is reporting that the tornado is on the ground and that there's been down power lines and trees down as well. Also possible damage to some barns in the area. So the tornado, it does look like it has broadened out. The rotation has, but this report from the emergency manager is still saying that there is a tornado on the ground in Sharkey County. You need to be taking this seriously if you're in that northern part of Sharkey County.
Yeah, so we know that there has been some damage. So we know that there has been at some point a tornado on the ground. Is that still happening? We don't know, but you need to play it safe and get to where you need to be. Hopefully that predetermined safe spot if you are in Sharkey County to the east of Highway 61, particularly around the Anguilla area, and then along Highway 14 as it runs east out of Anguilla towards Humphreys County and into the Louise area. Again, the warning has not been extended downstream farther east, but I could see that potentially happening. So even though you are not under a tornado warning now, if you're in southern Humphreys County, if you're around Louise or Midnight, you could be very soon. And remember, this is a tornado that has been on the ground. The storm has a history of producing damage, and it could do so as it continues to move in your direction. So that's why we are on the air, letting you know where the storm is and where it is headed over the next several minutes. Let's go ahead and take a look at Live IMAX 2. Again, full screen. We'll show you exactly where the storm we think is. Now, I'm thinking that's going to be right along this road here. We're looking at, I'm trying to query the road here. This is Sandy Bayou Road right there as it leads into Highway 14. Just to the east of Anguilla. If there's rotation there, if there's a tornado on the ground, it's going to be right in and about this area and moving east at about 20 miles per hour. So let's zoom out, and we're going to put this on the bottom left portion of the screen. I'm going to circle where the rotation is. It's going to be right in about this area, and if it's moving east at about 20 miles per hour, it should be near the Sharkey-Humphreys County line in about 24 minutes. The current time is about 7:43. So 24 minutes from now, that's just a few minutes after the top of the hour. And remember, the warning does go until 8:15. So for the next 20 to 30 minutes, if you're in Sharkey County, let's say east central Sharkey County along and south of Highway 14, there is a dangerous storm moving across your area right now that has put down a tornado. Could still be doing that. If it's not, it's got the potential of putting down another tornado and creating more damage. Also, very large hail coming from this storm as well. Let's do a hail query. Look at the hail size with this. And yeah, we see some hail potentially being produced right there, just in the area that we've been talking about there, along and south of Highway 14, east of Anguilla. Now, I think when we query this, it's going to be pretty small hail. This is about marble-sized hail, but it's had the potential to produce up to golf ball-sized hail with this storm. So nothing to fool around with. This is a dangerous storm, and we want you to take shelter as it is moving through over the next 20 to 30 minutes in Sharkey County, and we want you to pay really close attention to this if you live in southern Humphreys County, because that warning, and this is the warning right here, could very well be extended. Now, I'm going to query. Yeah, I'm going to query. I saw that the polygon changed a little bit, so we'll query the warning again, and it does still go until 8:15, and I'm going to read off the update, which was issued at 7:43. That was 2 minutes ago. The current time is 7:45. 7:43, a confirmed tornado was located 7 miles to the north of Holly Bluff, or 9 miles east of Rolling Fork, moving to the east now at about 30 miles per hour. So that is a change. It's picked up a little bit of momentum. It's moving east a little bit quicker at about 30 miles per hour. This storm producing a damaging tornado and up to quarter-sized hail. Emergency management has confirmed this tornado. That is the warning, the update of the warning that was just issued by the National Weather Service. So they're still going with an observed tornado with the storm, which, let's take a look at the debris signature. I don't think we're going to see anything here. I don't see anything that's really popping out at me. I'm looking east of Rolling Fork and Mount Helena and Anguilla, and just don't really see anything there. I'm going to take a look at the velocity. All right, so on the velocity here, you do now see the greens and the reds beginning to pop back up again right there. You see the negative 23 and the positive 29. And by now, we all know that if we're examining this from the radar site in Rankin County, the outbound wind is the red, that's the positive number, and then the negative number is the inbound wind toward the radar site. So your rotation is going to be right there. And this is what we've been saying. It is south of Highway 14, moving east now at about 30 miles per hour. So I'm going to have to change that in Live IMAX 12. I'm going to do that really quickly, and we'll track this out. Once again, going to the east at that speed. So let's zoom out and push it back over to the left. We'll circle where the rotation is. It's right there, south of Highway 14 in east central Sharkey County, now moving to the east at about 30 miles per hour. So it's picked up a little momentum. That means it's going to be crossing over into Humphreys County sooner than we thought. And that's, again, one of the reasons why you should not dally. You should get into your safe spot immediately. These storms may be moving slowly, but they can pick up momentum and they can get there before their earlier estimated arrival times. And right now, we're thinking this is likely going to cross the county line in Humphreys County in 10 minutes or less, as it is about 5 miles away. It should be in the Louise area and moving across Highway 16 in less than 20 minutes. So we don't have that warning yet for Humphreys County, but I could see that coming out very, very soon. I'm going to send it back over to Austin for more updates on this and those other storms that we're looking at, not only to the north of us, but also here in the metro.
Yeah, Ken, just want to note really quick that in Sharkey County, the Weather Service has noticed some broadening in this rotation, so they're potentially going to let this tornado warning expire early. They're not seeing that indication that they saw earlier. Yes, they had the emergency managers confirm that the tornado was on the ground, but they now believe it has lifted. And just looking at the velocities, we do still have a couplet. It looks like now it's southeast of Anguilla, here near Bowling Bayou Road, Sandy Bayou Road, south of Widow Bayou Road, south of Highway 14, which Ken was talking about. But if we query some of these speeds, they do look like they have weakened substantially since the last time, 20 going towards and 20 going away from the radar, which is good news. We'll see if the Weather Service extends this warning out, but right now it does appear that they are going to let this expire. But let's look at the newest velocity product here. It looks like it has continued to weaken as well. So we'll go ahead and look at the other storms that are around northeast or central Mississippi at the current time. Let's just zoom out here just so everyone can see what's going on. Here in the metro, we've got a severe thunderstorm warning just for eastern portions of Rankin County, right over Puckett right now. This storm is warned for large hail, 60-mile-per-hour winds, and quarter-sized hail with this storm. Also, if we go a little further up towards our north, we've got some more warnings up here, and it looks like Atala County up here, northeastern portions of Atala County, northeast of Kosciuszko, will query this warning as well. 60-mile-per-hour winds and 2-inch hail in Atala County, so that can certainly do some damage to some vehicles up there. Let's put on the hail tracker just to see what's going on with this storm, see if we can see any hail popping up. This was warned for 2-inch hail, but it looks like the radar isn't picking up on it at this time. But that doesn't mean that other portions of Atala County haven't already seen some hail damage associated with this storm. Zooming out a little more, so those are our only 3 warnings right now. Northeastern Atala County for large hail, Sharkey County, which is now moving into Humphreys County. That tornado warning, though, right now only including Sharkey County, and then to our south, including portions of southeastern Rankin County. But I want y'all to look out towards our west. Let me clear this watch and warning off of here, so that you can see just see this line of storms off to our west. This line right here, this is where the cold front is. It's going to move through later tonight. Until this cold front moves through, we're going to have the potential to see some severe thunderstorms. Now, hopefully we won't see any more tornado warnings, but the chance is still there. There is a chance that we could see another tornado warning and another tornado on the ground. But until this line passes through, it's going to be an overnight event. So we're going to have another line of storms form along that cold front moving off towards the south and east. So you'll need to keep your alerts on, keep your phones on so that you can hear warnings if any are issued for your area. Just be weather aware throughout this evening. You can see all these severe thunderstorm warnings stretching all the way from even into Alabama. Huntsville's under a severe thunderstorm warning all the way through central Mississippi, through southeastern Arkansas, northern Louisiana, even all the way back into eastern portions of Texas. So until this line moves through, we're going to continue to have the potential to see some severe thunderstorms. But for now, let's return to this Sharkey County storm just really quick, just to see if there's any indication of rotation here. It'd be in very eastern portions of Sharkey County if it was. This is probably where we would see that rotation south and east of Anguilla, still south of Highway 14, making its way towards Humphreys County, but it does look like it has broadened out significantly. So for now, I'm going to send it back over to Ken to see if he has any updates on any of these storms.
All right, very good news, Austin. I'm continuing to watch the chat from the National Weather Service, and the latest is that they think that they may be able to cancel this early. I don't think it's going to be in Sharkey County through 8:15. It has picked up a little forward motion, so I would say in the next 10 to 15 minutes is going to be crossing over to Humphreys County. So if they were going to issue the warning downstream, I think they would do that very soon if they hadn't done it already. And the fact that it's falling apart, I think they could even cancel a little bit early. But we'll continue, if you will, just continue to watch chat, and we'll take a look at the storm again, because still under a tornado warning. As long as we are, we'll continue to track the storm as it heads off to the east. Let's take a look at Live IMAX 2 full screen. Got a couple of discrete cells out there that we're watching. One in Rankin County. We got another severe thunderstorm warning in northeastern Itala County. Of course, this cell here moving from Issaquena into Sharkey right now and into Holmes County. You've already seen the rain with this cell moving across Highway 16. It's in the Louisa area. It is crossing Highway 49 West near Carter in northern Yazoo County as well. So already getting the rain here, but the severe part of the storm is going to be a little bit farther back here to the west. This is where it was rotating, although take a look at our velocity. It doesn't look great. We do see one little speck of green right in there and a lot of red. That field of red just means that that's wind that's all moving away from the radar site in one direction. So we got a positive 32 there, but we're not really seeing anything on the other side, indicating winds moving in the other direction. There is that one little pixel right there. So definitely does not look as good as it did several minutes ago, and we will back this up in time and show you when the warning was issued, what it looked like. And you see right there, you see the bright reds and the bright greens. When it was in Issaquena County, headed towards Rolling Fork, this is when the tornado warning was prompted, when it was issued. And it was issued for Issaquena originally and then Sharkey County. Since then, it has moved through the Rolling Fork area. We think it has produced some damage in and around Rolling Fork, unfortunately. And then it continues to work its way off to the east now at about 30 miles per hour, and it is significantly weaker now than it was before. Still seeing a little bit of something there, and if we've got any strong winds coming from the storm, it's going to be still along and south of Highway 14 in east, let's say northeastern Sharkey County, moving towards southern Humphreys County along Highway 14 towards Louise and Highway 149. Here's Highway 16, a little bit farther to the south. This is 149, and this is 14. So this is the area of most concern right now. If there's any kind of rotation, it would be right in about this area right here, and then moving east at about 30 miles per hour. But again, we should, I think, see this very soon be canceled a little bit early, because number one, it's moving out of the county, it's moving out of the warning polygon, but again, the storm continues to weaken and fall apart. So good news there. I know we have been telling you, if you're in Louise, if you're in midnight, you need to be watching this closely, and that is still the case, but it looks like it may have lifted before it gets to you still. there's going to be some pretty good weather moving through your area. We're looking at heavy rain, lots of lightning strikes with this storm, although notice not as many as we had before. Still producing lightning strikes, but the number has gone down, which is another sign that the storm is weakening a bit as it moves to the east at about 30 miles per hour. All right, I'm just noticing chat from the National Weather Service that they are in the process right now of canceling the tornado warning about 20 minutes early. It is now 7:55. The warning originally set to go until 8:15, and it's still there, but we've got official word that it is now going to be canceled. So because of that, I think we can safely get off the air because of this storm. This warning is going to pop out here pretty soon. It is weakened and it is moving to the east of the warned area. We want you to know, though, that there are other warnings that are out there. In fact, all right, I've turned on all the warnings and noticed the tornado warning is gone. It's been canceled. Looks like our severe thunderstorm warning has also been canceled for Rankin County as well. So that's some good news there. Also, the warning that was in effect for northeastern Atala County, there's still a warning there, but it's now out of Atala County. It's northeast of us, moving towards, I believe, Ackerman and Choctaw County. So right now, no warnings in our area, but you see what's coming. We got a line coming together here to the north of us, this associated with the cold front that's going to be sweeping southward during the evening and overnight hours tonight, and we're likely going to see more severe weather as the evening goes on, especially if you live along and north of I-20. South of I-20, I think the threat is going to be a little bit less, especially as we get into the overnight hours. But right now, we are going to be able to send you back to regular programming. If we have any more storms worthy of breaking in, know that we will do that. For right now, though, we'll send you back to regular programming.
This has been a Storm Team 12.